Hi guys, Goose here. This is the Guitar Show. Sorry I've been away for a little while, but I'm back. We're going to be doing some really cool videos. But first of all, I just want to kick off this sort of new series of videos. Actually, they're about Dire Straits in particular, and we've got a video on Eddie Van Halen coming up. But this first video is a bit of a light-hearted video, so I hope you're going to enjoy it. I first posted this story on the Gear page in 2018, but I thought it would be fun to do a video of it. One of my favourite ever albums of all time is the On Every Street album by Dire Straits, which was released in 1991. This would in fact be Dire Straits' last ever concert tour. The tour lasted from 23rd of August 1991 until 9th of October 1992 and included 229 shows in 19 countries throughout Europe, North America, Australia and New Zealand. The tour lineup included Mark Knopfler on guitar and vocals, John Isley on bass, Guy Fletcher on keyboards, Alan Clark on keyboards, Chris White on saxophone and flute, Paul Franklin on pedal steel guitar, Danny Cummins on percussion, Phil Palmer on guitar, and Chris Whitten on drums. To quote Ed Bicknell, who was Dire Straits' manager, "This last tour was utter misery. Whatever the zeitgeist was that we had been part of, it had passed. Personal relationships were in trouble, and it put a terrible strain on everyone, emotionally and physically." Isley agreed. He says, "We were changed by it." The following incident from this Dire Straits tour will no doubt go in rock history. I'm now going to quote to you from the excellent and amazing Phil Palmer, who was a guitarist on that tour. "We had been on tour for 2 months or so in the US and were really suffering the American food, which was bland and always the same. One night we ended up in Toronto, I think it was, and someone in the catering company found a Marks and Spencer's there and bought 1,000 pork sausages to feed the crew, and we'd heard about this even before we got to the gig. We were saying they've found pork sausages and we're having sausages, mash, baked beans and fried onions for dinner tonight. So the caterers made this classic English dish of bangers with English mustard and mashed potatoes with fried onions and vegetables, and everybody was drooling. When we came to the gig venue, everybody launched into this massive heap of sausages. Mark and I think John Isley decided, which was quite normal for them, that they were going to save theirs and have it afterwards. So 2 plates were set aside for Mark and John, both with 3 or 4 sausages. While we were on stage, somebody found his reserved meal and pinched one of the sausages. There was only 2 sausages on Mark's plate, and he was extremely upset. I still have this image of Mark coming off the stage and going to the caterers with his headband still on, and then screaming at the caterers because his sausages had gone and there was no more left to replace it. He got the whole crew one by one into his dressing room without even changing his shirt. He said to each crew member, "Have you eaten my sausages? Because if I find out who it is, they're on the next plane home," questioning them about the missing sausages. It was a serious situation because he was saying whoever ate my sausages is going home. It was a total Spinal Tap moment. He never found out who it was. The next day, to try and make light of the situation, the road crew made a set list with titles like Romeo and Sausage, Sausages for Nothing, and so on. I remember Mark looking down at it and he was still pretty angry and he tore it to shreds, and that's the end of the story. But I do know now, 20 years later, who it was that ate the sausages. Thanks guys for watching this video. This is Goose signing out.